Welcome back to Figs Talks Fights. I'm Brian Figueiredo. Today, we're going to get into the UFC's last pay-per-view of the year. Took place last Saturday, December the 12th in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Apex Center. You had your UFC flyweight champion, Deiveson Figueiredo, taking on the number one contender, Brandon Moreno. Was it your fight of the year? Might have been mine. I don't know. Let's talk about it and find out. And also, a crazy co-main event between Tony Ferguson and Charles Oliveira. Could be a surprising one too. Maybe, maybe not. So, let's get right into it. Okay? Deiveson Figueiredo, Brandon Moreno. Woo! What do you want to say about this fight? Easily fight of the night. Definitely fight of the quarter. Probably best fight we've seen since Poirier and Hooker got it on at the end of June this year. Zhang Weili and Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Probably still your fight of the year. I'd have to go back and rewatch all of these, but I mean, it is one, if not the best, one of the three best fights that happened this year. So let's get right into it, okay? Look, these two guys put on an absolute classic war. Fight starts out, Figueiredo opens up with like a spinning back kick right away. Brandon Moreno will not back down. Brandon Moreno is trying to keep pressure on. You can tell immediately Figueiredo has the harder shots than Moreno, but Brandon Moreno just keeps putting volume and he's not backing down off of nothing. All right. Now, I didn't grow up as a over-the-top huge boxing fan. Yes, I love boxing. I still do to this date. It's part of the sport of mixed martial arts too. But this Mexican style of boxing, look, forget about it. Now we're going to talk about Mexican style mixed martial arts. Brandon Moreno, such hard on this kid. Holy shit. I couldn't believe it. Some of the shots he was taking, I mean, I think Figueiredo could put out a lot of 135-pounders with the power that he's packing. But let's get more into the details on this fight. So you had Figueiredo, like I said, putting some pressure on Brandon Moreno, but Brandon Moreno was getting Figueiredo's attention a lot. He was setting up a high kick from the southpaw stance right behind his jab. It would just pot out, and Figueiredo, look, he holds his hands down pretty low. I don't know how he kept getting it back up in time, but damn, he could have got clocked seriously hard so many times in this fight. But I mean, look, some of the highlights we're talking here. Round one, I thought Figueiredo had more pressure. Moreno had a couple of takedowns. I believe he got one off the body lock in the first round. Okay. It was absolutely probably zero control for any takedowns in this fight. Both these guys scramble so well to their feet. Very impressive. It is tiring. Okay. I don't know about you. I am nowhere close to a flyweight. I probably haven't been able to make flyweight, actual weight, 125 pounds since like grade 5. I'm not a huge gentleman, but I'm definitely above average, and I was getting effing tired watching these scrambles. Holy smokes, my heart rate was going through the roof. So second round comes in. It's a bit more of a competitive round. Brandon Moreno is putting on pressure. Okay, gets another takedown off of Figueiredo. Figueiredo tries to clear space as he's shoveling back to be able to shrimp out and get to his feet. Accidentally pokes Moreno in the eye. Okay, they restart the fight from that position. Jason Herzog actually, in between the foul, in between the break of the foul and restarting the fight, he actually offers Brandon Moreno if he wants to start from that position again. Gave him the option. Look, great job, Jason Herzog. We're shitting on refs left, right, and center every time they make a mistake. Let's give him some credit. And speaking of the foul here, UFC, the first time I've ever seen it, if it's been on an event before, tell me I'm wrong, but they actually had a little ticker at the bottom left hand of the screen, okay, that would show you exactly how much time they've taken in their foul. I thought that was a good addition to it. It's sad that we have to have that clock ready to go because there's fouls pretty much every fight card, but good job on the production. So these guys end the second round. I mean, It was a toss-up. I probably would have gave that round to Moreno. Now, the third round, we're starting to see if Figueiredo is going to slow down or not. Moreno, he's just same high pace, same volume, putting great combinations together, okay? But here's the thing. Every 2 or 3 shots that Moreno would land on Figueiredo, Figueiredo just had one hard shot to answer with that was causing far more damage. Now, speaking of damage, in this third round, there was a nasty, and I mean nasty, groin shot. I could hear him getting kicked right. Figueiredo, making the foul against Moreno, let me clarify, kicked him straight in the balls. That's it, straight in the balls. I mean, the bottom of his foot, poof, right under the jock. Was that an intentional foul? I don't know. Was he anticipating Moreno coming forward and he was lifting his leg to extend a push kick out? It's possible. I watched the tape a couple of times. It's 50-50. Maybe he just got a little lazy on that kick, didn't lift it high enough, didn't measure the distance good enough. Only he will truly know. It was a little suspect. Okay, I may be happy that there's a Figueiredo in the UFC, somebody who has my goddamn last name. Never thought I'd ever see that, let alone becoming a champion. But you gotta call it how it is. Okay? That might have been an intentional blow. I'm just hoping not. But nonetheless, Moreno was just gagging. You could tell this really hurt him. You know, even the commentators were saying they thought he was going to throw up. It sounded like it. Guess what? I mean, after about 2.5 minutes, gets back on his feet, and he's right back in this thing. Now, fourth round, come out to it. It's the same thing. It's more, we're competitive here. I believe this is the round where Moreno started to get a takedowns off of the kick of Figueiredo. I can't remember if that was the third or the fourth. But, I mean, he had one from the body lock. I don't think he caught any doubles on him, but just basically anytime he was getting in. But Figueiredo's so good at scrambling back to his feet. Both these guys are. Really, both these guys are. But you know what? The flyweight division's great at scrambling. I mean, if you can hold somebody down and, you know, strong enough with that shoulder pressure or putting a crossface on them and actually control the hips of a flyweight, I mean, congratulations. But none of this was happening in this fight. Another great round, but the fifth round, things started to drop off. That's where you saw Figueiredo picking up the pace a little bit more, him having the heavier shots. He gets a takedown of his own. He gets a little bit of top control, but I mean, we're talking like 28, 30 seconds here. That's about it. And if anything, it might even be less. But overall, this fight ends, okay? And we're going straight to the judges' scorecards. Now, pardon me, I should have really mentioned that foul in the third round, kick to the balls. Jason Herzog, look, we got to start taking points away. You got to start taking points away. Did it change the outcome of this fight? Absolutely. Okay? But I think the way this fight ended, can you argue otherwise? So 1 point taken away from Figueiredo in the third round. The judges read their scorecards. It was 47-46. One judge had it for Figueiredo, and the rest of the judges had it 47-47, meaning that one of the judges that scored it 47-46 had it 4-1 for Figueiredo against Moreno, okay? And the other 2 judges had it 3-2. But with that point deduction, it's now 3-1, 3-2, and, 3-1. What the hell am I saying? 47-46. Yeah, it would have been 3-2, and the other judges scored it 4-1, god damn it, and 3-2. So this is where it became a majority draw. Now, what it means by a majority draw as opposed to a split draw or a minority decision would be that 2 judges scored it a draw, obviously. Here I'm stating the goddamn obvious, but anyhow, hear me out, follow me out here. So I actually thought this was the correct decision of the fight. This was a super close one. I watched this fight 3 times since I watched it live. It's really hard for me to determine a winner. Try to take as many notes on who the hell is landing what. It was way too competitive. Both these guys, as soon as somebody got fired on, they fired right back. It was incredible. Both these guys left it all in there. So, interesting, we found out that Figueiredo went to the hospital at 2 a.m. the day before. He had stomach issues. I mean, look, he's a big guy. He's about 155, 150 pounds, somewhere in that area. Okay, walking around, probably gets as high up to 160 pounds. And he's cutting from 125, and he did that twice in 3 weeks. Twice in 3 weeks, he made that weight cut limit. Had stomach issues, apparently, was throwing up, couldn't keep anything down. This fight was in jeopardy. I'm glad they pulled it off, but I mean, this is something Figueiredo's going to have to think about for the future. That power can probably translate to 135 pounds. I get it. You got big guys like Corey Sandhagen there that are 5'10", have a hell of a lot more reach. I can't see Figueiredo taking out Corey Sandhagen, but I mean, think about the longevity of his health here. I just hope we don't see him fall off one day. But I mean, Brandon Moreno, it looked like his arm was broken from defending some of the kicks there. He had a huge lump on his forearm. In his post-fight interview, he said it was more like his shoulder. He had problems with his shoulder. He overextended a jab. I understand that. You throw real hard. The target's not there. It usually happens in the elbow, but it can happen in the shoulder too. So, I mean, these guys have to run it back. I just hope we can wait till at least April or May. Let these guys heal. Even if Figueiredo didn't go through the insane weight cut that he did twice within 3 weeks, both these guys need to heal. That was a hell of a fight, and I hope we don't see a drop-off that's going to be more obvious in their next showing or even in the rematch, okay? So these are the rightful two guys to fight at 125 pounds. I know Cody Garbrandt was actually supposed to fight on the 24th of November against Figueiredo, and then he had to pull out with COVID. Hopefully Cody Garbrandt's getting a little better. Heard he has some freaking blurred vision and blood clots. That's insane. Let's not get into that. But Alex Perez steps in, gets finished in just a little over a minute by Deiveson Figueiredo, and then just last weekend give these guys a rest. Garbrandt, I mean, do you really want to make that cut down to 125 pounds? He is seriously fast and hits hard at 135. See what the hell happens. Now, your co-main event, Charles Oliveira and Tony Ferguson. Look, a lot of people are looking at this as like Tony's just going to get right back on track. I was a little cautious coming into this fight. I did favor Ferguson. I don't want to count him out and write him off just because he had that war with Gaethje. But it was concerning. I mean, he nearly went 5 rounds with Justin Gaethje, albeit he was competitive. He even dropped Gaethje at the end of the second round with that beautiful uppercut he landed. You could have given that round to Tony, but I mean, that was Gaethje's fight. And Gaethje was just ferocious, and put a beating on Tony like nobody's ever been done to Tony before. So Charles Oliveira, on the other hand, I said it before coming into this fight, I think it was a 7-fight win streak. And against decent, every time he had an out, it was against higher and higher level competition, putting away Kevin Lee with a guillotine choke just back this last March of 2020. I mean, it's pretty obvious Charles Oliveira's been putting it together. I am really impressed with his stand-up, even though we didn't get too much to see of it. Just real tight elbows, perfect stance, turns the hips over on everything, beautiful footwork, good pressure, and that's how he started this fight, trying to pressure Tony Ferguson. Now, Tony was competitive, I'd say for a good, 45 seconds to a minute, and he had a sense of urgency and got aggressive anytime Charles Oliveira tried to pressure him, anytime he got along the black lines of the outside of the fence there. Okay, Tony Ferguson was throwing combos hard, okay, trying a couple of spinning back elbows and getting Charles Oliveira to back off. But I mean, as soon as they made it across the fence, Charles Oliveira got the double underhooks. Can't believe it. Kaboom. Takes Tony down, works his way. I think Tony had a half butterfly on his right side. Charles Oliveira eventually passes over it, slides into mount on Tony Ferguson. Okay? Starts putting a pounding on him. Tony didn't get up. Couldn't get up. And I think if you watch this fight, which if you're watching this video, you'll probably watch the goddamn fight. That armbar at the end of the first round, holy shit. Tony is lucky his arm didn't snap. I think his elbow was a little past or too far past the hips where, it wasn't going to put enough pressure for it to break. But that elbow definitely popped out. As soon as he realized Tony wasn't going to tap, I think he naturally went into it. Charles Oliveira did a beautiful technique. He had both his calves over the face of Tony, and he's biting on it. And what I mean by biting with his calves is literally, if you just take your leg right now, turn it, and then just flex it in. Flex it in. Put your hand underneath your calf, flex it in, and you can feel that little bit of extra pressure. He had both of his calves biting with that pressure on Tony's face. And why you want to do that is so that the guy can't just roll out. He can't just sit up out of the armbar. So he has his arm extended out. Okay, Tony's trying to do the right thing by at least twisting it around so the pressure's not going on the elbow. Didn't matter. At this point, Charles Oliveira had it so tucked in, literally takes his arm, tucks it under his armpit, and extends it even more. The horn beeps. I don't think Tony was going to tap. I don't think he even considered tapping. But coming into the second round, Tony threw nothing from his left side. Okay, went into southpaw stance, did a couple of feints, threw some kicks, but now Charles Oliveira sneaks in and actually catches Tony and puts a double on him, lifts him up like he did in the first round. The first round was a body lock. Now it's a double and puts him on his ass, and it's more of the same. Getting past those butterflies, getting right in the mount, from mount to side control, putting some ground and pound on him, nasty crossface, just forcing Tony. He can't even look. The pressure was so tight. The shoulder pressure of Charles Oliveira is something to be feared of. I mean, it is nasty. I don't know if you've ever had any of that shit happen to you before. It is not fun, okay? And it doesn't have to be a large man either, okay? Somebody who just knows how to distribute their weight and just grind that shoulder right in the jaw. Nasty shit, okay? Went to go threaten with that arm again. Tony got wise of it. It looked like Tony just shut down and went right into defensive mode. Okay. Now, even the commentary team was saying, look, the intriguing thing of Tony versus Habib and why we've wanted to see this fight for at least a good 6 years. I think the first time it was scheduled was the Ultimate Fighter finale in 2014. Habib pulled out and Edson Barbosa came in. Tony had a wicked ground game then. Always has. But I mean, Charles Oliveira, either he has just taken that next leap to become an elite fighter, or Tony's dropped off. Going into the third round, more of the same. Tony has some sort of a sense of urgency. He's trying to put something together, not trying to hit too hard, but just his corner advised him to start throwing some volume, throw some volume. Couldn't do it. Got taken down again, never got up. Is this the end of Tony Ferguson as a top 5 lightweight? I don't want to count him out. 36 years old. At 155 pounds, that is tough. I mean, if you're 36 at 185, even 185, it's tough. But like 205, especially heavyweight, no big deal. You got some time. But I mean, these divisions, especially 170 and under, it's all about quickness, okay? It is a young man's game down at those weight classes, okay? Fighting in general is a young man's game. But especially the lower weights. So we'll see how Tony comes back for this. But I mean, Charles Oliveira, you got to line him up for a title shot. What more does this guy have to do? Gaethje got his shot. I know Poirier and McGregor are fighting again next month. Okay, I don't know why they haven't stripped Habib yet. Will he come back and fight? Who knows? I mean, it seemed very personal to him that he doesn't. It was personal to him and his family. And I look, I can understand. At the end of the day, you can have truckloads of money. At the end of the day, it's all about your values. Your values are all about money, sure. Floyd Money Mayweather, I mean, look, it's pretty clear his value is money. Some people, to see myself like family first. Family first. And if that's what's going to be right for Habib, sure. But if not, I mean, look, you got to slip Charles Oliveira in that next title shot. Should it be the winner of McGregor Poirier versus Oliveira? I'd sign up for that. What are you going to do with Gaethje? You have Michael Chandler in the wings. Who knows? We have a fun year ahead of us. UFC, why don't you put on a goddamn Grand Prix? Okay? When Strikeforce did it 2010, it was enough attention that they garnered for you to buy the organization. Fucking do it. Change something up, will ya? Okay. Anything else to mention from this card? Look, I love Joe Rogan, Daniel Cormier as commentators. I think they're both terrific, but it's starting to become evident the last few cards that they've done together, they're mirroring too much. The best of Joe Rogan is not coming out, and neither is the best of Daniel Cormier. Both these guys just sound like a couple of buddies sitting on the couch. It's how I would talk to some of my friends watching a fight. Okay? I prefer the lineup of like a Bisping and Cormier, a Bisping and Rogan. My personal favorite lineup is actually Dominic Cruz, Daniel Cormier, the two DCs, and John Anik. You can mix and match them, but look, it depends on how you want to watch this. If you want to watch it, and just get some good giggles out of there with a little bit of analysis here or there and just giving some raw opinion like a guy on the couch, no problem. And by all means, I'm not calling Daniel Cormier or Joe Rogan just a guy on the couch. But compared to the best of their abilities and their best showings, they're acting like it, okay? So, have to give credit where it's due, but look, guys, got to call that out, okay? Another great fight on this card, Ciryl Gane opens up the card with Junior Dos Santos. Look, I hate to say it, but Junior Dos Santos is starting to look like some of the guys that he was picking up or picking off on his way up, okay? When he was going through Fabricio Verdum, Stefan Struve, Gilbert Yvel. I mean, maybe Gilbert Yvel is the perfect example. Gilbert Yvel in Pride, man, hey, he didn't have a stellar record, 90, 95% wins. No, but that guy, if you stood with him, you were in fucking trouble if you were not tight. Junior Dos Santos against Ciryl Gane, he looked a little bit out of his element. He was anticipating too much, couldn't pull the trigger. He was waning big shots. He couldn't find his range against Ciryl Gane. Okay, second round gets clipped, gets hit. Look, it was a little bit in the back of the head, but he's turning away. I felt bad that Ciryl Gane felt bad about that strike. Beautiful performance. Are we going to see Junior Dos Santos in the UFC anymore? I hate to say it, probably not. The days of Kane and JDS making the trilogies, they're long over. They're long over. Kane's retired, became a wrestler, and I don't even think he's doing that anymore. So, sad to see. I think he could do well in Bellator's heavyweight division, rise in, go to one championship, whatever the hell he wants to do. But with the way they're making cuts in the UFC right now, I don't see it happening. Ciryl Gane, after this fight, I mean, I'd love to see him paired up with somebody else in the lower top 10. Don't push him up too much. He's about 7-0. Maybe a Ben Rothwell. That would be a good fight for him next. So, also on the card, you had Jacare Sosa, 41 years old, still fighting ranked contenders, okay? Didn't look like absolute crap in this fight. It was short. He had moments. He actually got Kevin Holland down, taking on Kevin Holland, I should say. But Kevin Holland, holy crap. Look, whether you like the way this guy talks or promotes himself, whole other story, okay? I even found myself at this fight. Look, the guy's talking shit like this in the middle of a fight. Holy smokes, my own wife had to remind me. Look, right, they're in a fucking cage fighting. My wife was right. Why the hell am I going to criticize somebody talking shit in the middle of a fight? Look, it's not my thing. It's not my favorite thing. But damn, Kevin Holland just kicks the hips out on Jacare Sosa in the middle of a getup, throws a right shot, stuns Jacare a little bit, throws a follow-up one, hurts him, he falls back. Okay, he's pretty much doing the backwards prayer there. Okay, and then just gets put out on the fence, calls out... God, what's the guy's name? The new guy on the scene. Kazmat Chimaev for this Saturday's fight card. Look, ain't going to happen, but interesting fight to move up. Kevin Holland, look, I'd love to see him against, Chris Weidman, Derek Brunson. Put these guys together. See him being a contender in the future. He's got my attention. He's 5-0 this year. If Figueiredo is not your fighter of the year, Kevin Holland's got to be a runner-up. So... that's about it. Oh, and what's all this other nonsense? There's some shit about some Jake Paul guy, YouTube guy. Yeah, I saw him fight some former basketball player on the Mike Tyson card. What the fuck are people doing, man? I understand this guy's popular with a generation that's probably going to tell me, okay, boomer, okay, boomer. God, that's annoying. You sound stupid. If you're one of those people, just want to let you know, you're dumb, and you should reenact going on the Mayflower to come to North America and see how well you do, okay, loser? Okay, anyhow, nonetheless, why the hell are you guys talking about Jake Paul and Conor McGregor? Jake Paul, yes, he's had a couple of professional boxing fights, but he's not a professional athlete. So, look, if they ever make that fight, I'm going to find an illegal stream and that guy's going to get knocked the hell out. Okay? Knock the hell out. I'm trying not to swear as much on this channel as I have been in the past. I got a potty mouth and I caught my 3-year-old son going into my wife's phone and trying to find videos with me. I'm honored, but come on. Little son, don't listen to me. I swear too much. But anyhow, look, that's all I have to say for now. I'll try to make another video by the end of the year. Would like to review the year if I get that out by the end of the year or the beginning of next. Stick with me, okay? Now, very important, if you stuck with me this long, if you've been watching this channel this year, checking out these videos, sharing the shit out of it, subscribing to it, I actually want to say a huge gratitude to you, all right? I appreciate it. I just started this off because I can't stop talking about fights with anybody I talk to, okay? I mean, there's been a pandemic this year, so there's a lot of other things I've had my mind on, but look, I love talking about this sport. Some things I'm going to say are probably going to be out of line. Some of them are going to be stupid. Some of them might be on point. It's called being a human being, but I am here to have fun, talk some shit, hear what you want to have me say on here, whatever kind of content, let me know. But seriously, thank you very much. I do appreciate it, okay? Everybody that's subscribed to this channel so far, awesome. Thank you for sticking around when the videos are coming like a bunch in a week and sometimes few and far in between. So thank you so much. What if I said thank you 5 times? Thank you again. Take it the 6th time. And if you enjoy the content, remember, subscribe to this channel. Give it a thumbs up. Let's do some great shit on here in 2021. Until next time, if I don't talk to you before, have yourself a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, whatever the hell you do, enjoy it. Have a good time. Don't drink and drive. You can drink if you want. Enjoy yourselves. We're in a pandemic. Till next time.